And boom, we are now live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you everybody for coming out and all our viewers right now who's watching on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, set your notifications so you know when we're coming live. It is Superstar Saturday's doubleheader right now, where we're starting off our program with the off-road. And then tonight will be oval at 6 p.m. And right now we are going first with modified four-wheel drive. Billy Easton, Jason Hall, Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mark Van Neersen. Drivers from race number 4, stock two-wheel drive, Kermit, Jim Anderson, Scott Quintel, Luis Ortiz, Rich Adantis, and Clarence. You are my turn marshals. And we already got somebody in the chat, Jason Wilkinson from Beards and Bass. Guys, go look at his YouTube channel if you want to see some fishing expeditions. All right, my drivers are coming out now. And as soon as Mark checks it in, we're gonna rock. If I can get a turn marshal down there at the white bucket down there. All right, let's bring him to the back. Bring him to the back. I need a turn marshal, that white bucket down there. And I need Clarence out here. Clarence. Okay. Oh, okay, Dennis is getting it. Thank you, Dennis. All right, guys, here we go. Race number 1 of 4, round number 1 of qualifying. Running order is going to be Jason Hall, Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mark Van Neersen, and the former IFMAR champion, Billy Easton. All right, here we go. Turn marshals are ready. Drivers are ready. Here we go. Jason Hall, you're on the horn in less than 5. Kyle Paquette. Dustin Spallone. Mark Van Neersen. And Billy. And we're off. Race number 1 of 4, round number 1 of qualifying. Once you guys put a couple laps down, I'll go in that order. And right now, it's Billy Easton laying a 13.4 that last lap, 22.502 pace. He's leading it on. Dustin Spallone in second, 21.511. Jason Hall in third, 19.512. Mark, 17.513. Kyle Paquette having some issues down there, 14.501. 1 down and less than 4 to go. Billy, 13.3 for Billy Easton. Last lap around. Dustin Spallone, new fast lap, 14.5. Jason Hall, 14.3. Mark Van Neersen, 16.1. And Jason Hall laying a 13.9 new fast lap. And there's Mark Van Neersen laying a 15.2. Kyle Paquette, 19.7 last lap. So right now it's you got two Serpents out there versus Associateds. Got Billy running the Serpent, Jason Hall running the Serpent, Dustin, Mark, and Kyle Paquette all running Associateds. And Kyle Paquette, new fast lap, 14.2 that time around. And we got 2:45 to go. Billy Easton laying a 13.6 last lap. He's up to a 23.512 pace. Dustin Spallone, 14.3 last lap. Jason Hall, 14 flat. Mark, 17.1. And Kyle, 14.5. 2:30 to go. And there's your leader right there going over the double now. And he's making his way to the hill and to the back stretch. And he's crossing the line. And Jason Hall laying a new fast lap, 13.9 that time around. And right now he is 6 seconds off the second spot behind Dustin Spallone. And right now we're at the 2 minute mark. Left. 2 to go, 2 to go. Up next, Independent Stock Buggy. Chuck Limbach, Brian Dean, Lee Kessler, and James McDaniel. You're up in 1:45. Kyle Paquette laying a 13.8 new fast lap. And Dustin Spallone laying a 13.9 new fast lap for him that time around. Jason Hall right now, he laid a 14.1. He's on a 25.01 pace in the third. Billy Easton, your leader, new fast lap, 13.3, 23.511 pace. Jason Hall laying a 13.8 new fast lap. He's up to a 21.514 pace. He's 9 seconds off the second spot. Mark Van Diersen in the fourth, 18.515. Kyle Paquette, 17.501 in the five. And we are at the 1 minute mark. Since the light bulb is blown, the imaginary yellow light is on. Just pretend that's a yellow light down there. Flashing. Billy Easton laying a 13.5. Dustin Spallone, 14.7. Jason Hall, 15.7. Mark Van Diersen, 15.1. Kyle Paquette, 15.4. And it looks like Kyle Paquette is out. 20 seconds to go. Billy Easton, 13.6. Dustin, 14.2. Jason Hall, 15.2. Mark Van Diersen, 15.9. Last laps around. 5 seconds to go.
The race is over.
Race is over. Keep going until I tell you are done. Dustin, you're done. New fast lap for you, Dustin. 13.8. Billy, you're done. Jason Hall, you're done. And just waiting for Mark. Everybody is done. Billy Easton takes the win. Sets early TQ, 22.5 flat. Dustin, 21.504. And Jason, 21.513. Mark Van Diersen, 18.512 in the 4. Kyle, you had 13 laps before you took it off. All right, guys, that is it for race number 1. Right now, we're going into race 2, Indy Stock. My turn marshals are going to be Billy, Kyle, Dustin, Mark Van Diersen, and I need a volunteer turn marshal for Jason Hall.
Two minutes 30 seconds left. 2 minutes left. "90 seconds left.
All right. I just need Lee to check in
75
real quick.
seconds
Checking in,
left.
Lee. Where's my turn marshals, guys? Turn marshals. Thank you, Lee. Drivers are ready to go. I need a volunteer for Jason Hall, guys. I need a volunteer for Jason.
1 minute left.
All right, Mark's out there. Billy's out there. I need
45
Kyle
seconds left.
and a volunteer for Jason Hall.
30 seconds left.
Thank you. And just waiting for Kyle Paquette.
15 seconds left.
If I get you
10
down there, bud.
seconds left.
Let me get you down there. All right, guys, here we go. Race 204, round number 1 of qualifying. Running orders going to be Chuck, Brian, Lee, and James McDaniel. Chuck Limbach, you're on the horn in less than 5. Brian Dean. Lee Kessler. And James McDaniel. And we're off. Race 204, round number 1 of qualifying. This is independent stock. As soon as you guys put a couple laps down, I'll go in the race order. And right now, with 4:05 to go, we're coming up to that 1 down, 4 to go. Chuck Limbach, 19.503. Brian Dean, 18.502. James McDaniel, 17.512. And Lee, 15.503. Chuck, 15.9 last lap. Brian Dean, 16.1. James McDaniel, 17.3. And Lee, 16.5. New fast lap for Lee. 3:35 to go. And Chuck Limbach laying a 16.5 that time around. Brian Dean laying a 16.5. James McDaniel 17.9. Lee 20.7. And there they all come down that back straight.
3 minutes left.
And right now we got 2 down, less than 3 to go. Chuck on a 19.506 pace. Brian Dean now down to a 17.510 pace. James McDaniel 17.514. He's 4 seconds off second. Now make it 2 seconds off the second spot. Lee Kessler 15.510. Chuck 19.4. Brian Dean 19.2. James McDaniel 18.2. Lee 17.4. Lee Kessler new fast lap 15.9. Chuck does have the fastest lap in this race with a 15.7 in lap number 1. And he laid a 15.8 that time around. Brian Dean, 18 flat. Lee right now 8 seconds off the third spot. And we got less than 2 to go. Up next, Mod two-wheel drive, Kyle Paquette, Juan Torres, Dustin Spallone, and Mason. I will need a volunteer term marshal for the next race, please, as I only have 4 going in. I need a minimum of 5. Chuck, 16 flat. Brian Dean, 16-4. James McDaniel, 17-8. Lee Kessler, 16 flat. And James McDaniel laying a new fast lap of a 17-1 that time around. And we are coming up to the 1 minute mark. And Chuck, new fast lap, 15-6. 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. And Chuck laying a new fast lap of a 15-1 that time around, 19.509 pace. Brian Dean, 17-1, 17.503. James McDaniel, 18-1, 17.518 pace. Lee, 18-6, 16.507. 20 seconds to go. And we have one upside down right here.
The race is
And
over.
the race is over. Keep going until I tell you are done. Chuck, you're done. Brian Dean, you're done. New fast lap for Brian, 15.9. Lee, you're done. Track is still hot, guys. Track is still hot. Everybody is done. Chuck Limbach takes the win. Such early TQ, 19.509. Brian Dean, 18.514. James McDaniel in the third, 17.516. And Lee, 16.512. Good run. All right, guys. Race number 3 of 4.
3 minutes
And that's
left.
going to be Mod two-wheel drive. I will need
2
a
minutes, 30
volunteer term
seconds
marshal
left.
for this race, guys. Need one volunteer.
Two minutes left. Ninety seconds left. $75 seconds
All right,
left.
I need one volunteer, please. Need a volunteer term marshal.
1 minute left. "45 seconds left. "30 seconds left.
I need a volunteer right in front of that driver's stand. Just
15
waiting for
seconds
Dustin
left.
to check it in.
10 seconds left.
Dustin.
Less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, you're not counting, Dustin. All right, 1 minute's grace for Dustin.
1 minute
Guys,
left.
I can't start the race without a volunteer turn marshal. I'm just going to cancel the race.
"45 seconds left. "30 seconds left.
Thank you. All right, bring it to the back. Running order is going to be Kyle Paquette, Juan Torres, Dustin Spallone, and Mason McCombs.
15 seconds left.
All right, here we go. Kyle Paquette, you're on the horn in less than 5. Juan Torres, Dustin Spallone, and Mason McCombs. And we're off. Race number 3 of 4, Mod 2-wheel drive. Once you guys get a couple laps down, I'll go in the order. Right now, it's Mason McCombs in the lead, 21.512 pace. Last lap, 14.6. Juan Torres, 25.06. Last lap, 15 flat. Kyle Paquette, last lap around, 14.2, 17.502. Dustin Spallone, 14.9, 17.503 pace. 3:35 on the clock. We got one upside down right here. And we are clear. Mason McCombs, 14.4. Juan Torres, 14.9. Kyle Paquette, 14.1. And Dustin Spallone, 15 flat.
Three minutes left.
And right now, we got 3 on the clock. It's Mason, 25.09 pace. Dustin, 19.504. Juan, 19.512. Kyle Paquette, 4 seconds off the third spot, 19.516.
2 minutes left.
And we got less than 2 to go. Dustin Spallone now up into the lead, 25-13 pace. Mason McCombs 2 seconds off the lead, 25-15. Kyle Paquette 19.504. Juan Torres 18.513. Dustin 15.6 last lap. Mason new fast lap 14.2. Now your leader. New fast lap for Mason 14.2. Dustin Spallone 15.6 last lap. Kyle 14.3 in the third now. Juan Torres 15.4 in the 4.
Mark might replace.
And we're getting closer to the 1 minute mark.
One minute left.
And we got less than 1 to go. And it looks like Kyle is out. Dustin Spallone, 25.10 pace. Mason McCombs, 19.501. Juan Torres in the 3, 18.514 pace. Dustin, 14.7 last lap. Mason, 16.7. Juan Torres, 19.8. Ten seconds to go.
The race is over.
Race is over. Keep going until I tell you're done. Mason done. Juan done. Everybody's done. Dustin Spallone takes the win. Sets early TQ 25.06. Mason McCombs 19.5 flat. Juan Torres 18.505. All right, I'm going to put a minute's grace on the board here for Mark.
3 minutes left.
So we'll make it even 4 minutes.
Three minutes left. Two minutes 30 seconds left.
All right, guess everybody is out there. Thank you so kindly.
2 minutes left.
All right, looks like everybody's ready to rock. I just need a volunteer term marshal, please.
90 seconds left.
All right. I don't know turn volunteer. We're just going to get going.
$75 seconds left.
All right, running order is going to be Kermit, Mark Van Neersen, Jim Anderson, Scott Quintel, Luis Ortiz, Rich, and Clarence. All right.
1 minute left.
Here we go. Be prepared, guys. We're shorthanded on turn marshals, so thank you. All right, here we go. Kermit, you are on the horn in less than 5.
45 seconds left.
Mark, Jim, Scott, Lewis, Rich, and Clarence. And we are off. Race 4, last race of round number 1. As soon as you guys get a couple laps down, I'll go in the order. Wake up, Sugar.
4 minutes left.
And right now we got 1 down, less than 4 to go. Kermit right now your leader. 25.07 pace. Rich, 19.508. Scott Quintel, 1 second off second, 19.509. Mark Van Neersen, 18.5 flat in the 4. Jim Anderson now in 4, 18.515. Rich in 5, 18.515. Luis Ortiz in 6, 17.501. Clarence, 17.511. Mark Van Neersen up into the second spot, 19.513 pace. Scott in third, 18.501. Kermit last lap, 15.4. Mark Van Neersen, 15.1. Scott in third, 18.6. Jim Anderson, 15.4 in the 4. Rich, 15.6 in the 5. Lewis, 17.1 in the 6. And Clarence, 17.1 in the 7. Lewis, new fast lap, 16.3. 2 down, less than 3 to go. And Scott, new fast lap, 14.8, now up into the second spot. Jim Anderson in 3, 15.1. Luis Ortiz in 5, new fast lap, 15.3. Mark Van Neersen right now is now up into the 3 spot. Jim Anderson down into 4. Jim 1 second off third. Mark Van Neersen now moving up into the 2 spot. Scott Quintel down into 3. Jim Anderson 1 second off third. Luis Ortiz 3 seconds off third. Rich 8 seconds off third. So, wow, look at these times. Kermit, your leader right now with 2 minutes to go. 25.12 pace. Mark 19.508. Scott 19.514. Lewis 18.501. Jim Anderson 18.502. Rich 18.505. And Clarence 17.503. Luis Ortiz in 4, new fast lap 15.3, 4 seconds off the third spot. Kermit, last lap around 15.4, Mark 15.6, Scott Quintel 15.3, Jim Anderson now in 4, 15.5, Lewis 16.8, Rich, new fast lap 15.2, and Clarence 17.2, 120 to go. And right now, we're in 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. And Mark Van Neersen just 1 second off the lead behind Kermit. And Mark now moving up into the lead, 19.503. Scott Quintel in second, 5 seconds off the lead, 19.508. Kermit 1 second off second, 19.509. Jim Anderson 1 second off third, 19.510. Rich 5 seconds off third, 19.515. Lewis 18.504 and Clarence 17.502. 20 seconds to go. After this race, we'll take a 20-minute intermission. We're going to get going at 1:05, guys. 1:05 in round 2. Jim Anderson, new fast lap, 15 flat.
The race is over.
The race is over. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Mark Van Eersen, you're done. Lewis, Scott, Jim, you're done. Track is hot. Track is hot. Kermit, you're done. Rich, you're done. And that's it. Mark Van Eersen takes the win, sets early TQ, 19.502. Scott was just 2 seconds off, 19.504. Jim Anderson, third, 19.506. Rich in the 4, Kermit 5, and Lewis in the 6. And Clarence in the 7. What a good race, guys. Look at these times. All right, guys, that's it for round number 1. At 1:05, we're going to go into round 2. Can someone come grab these papers, please? Guys, at 1 o'clock, shut it down for practice. I'm going to put the practice thing on.
$28.1.
All right, can someone come grab these papers, please?
15.3.
14.0. 15.1. 13.9.
15.3. 15.3. 15.6.
13.8.
18.6.
14.0.
16.5. 17.6. 17.3.
0.8.
28.2.
14.4.
19.0.
44.5,
16.9,
53.0,
23.6,
46.
19.1, 16.1, 15.9, 17.4, 18.1, 21.3, 24.9, 17.8,
31.14.5,
17.4, 16.9, 18.2, 15.4, 16.7,
33.0,
15.2, 26.9, 21.8, 20.4, 16.3,
13.9,
16.7,
14.2,
15.7,
13.9, 14.0, 31.4,
27.3,
14.6,
18.6, 17.0, 16.9, 16.1, 19.1, 16.9,
0.4,
46.1, 14.3,
17.1,
34.9,
16.2, 16.4, 16.1, 17, 20,
47.1,
15.7, 15.8,
41.8,
16.1,
15.1, 14.9, 14.8, 14.7, 14.9, 15.1, 14.8, 39.6,
twenty-seven point zero, 15.5,
15. 14.9,
29.2,
14.9, 14.9,
15.2,
14.7, 14.6,
22.6,
15.0, 15.0,
15.3, 15.3, 15.2,
15.1,
15.7,
14.6,
15.6, 15.4, 16.0, fifteen point three, 15.3. 16.9.
15.1.
15.5. 15.5. 15.4. 15.8. 28.0. 15.6. 16.3. 15.7.
14.7. 15.0.
15.3.
14.9.
16.5. 16.2. 15.3. 15.2.
14.8.
15.3. 15.7. 15.6. 27.3. 21.5. 16.7.
14.9.
16.3. 16.3. 16.2. 16.
All right, guys, here we
51.6.
go. Round number 2. Race number 1 is going to be Mod 4-Wheel Drive. Jason Hall, Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mark Van Deersen, and Billy Easton. Drivers from race number 7, you're my turn marshals. Kermit, Jim Anderson, Scott Quintel, Luis Ortiz, Rich, and Clarence.
I'll be right there.
Two minutes 30 seconds left.
Go home, take a nap. Right? Oh my God, this is hard to get.
2 minutes left.
Oh, that's good. It's good. All right, drivers from race 7, you're my turn marshals. Let's see, you got Scott, Rich, and Jim Anderson out there.
Ninety seconds left. $75 seconds left. 1 minute left. "45 seconds left. "30 seconds left.
All
15
right,
seconds
just waiting
left.
for a check-in from Kyle Paquette.
10 seconds left. Less than 5
Is
seconds.
he in this race? Clarence, need you out here, Clarence. I need one down there in the back. Okay. There he is. All right, as soon as Kyle checks it in, we're rocking. All right, bring him to the back, guys. Bring him to the back. Running order is going to be Billy Easton, Dustin Spallone, Jason Hall, Mark Van Neersen, and Kyle Paquette. Time to beat is 22.5 flat set by Billy Easton from round number 1. That is the time to beat. Here we go. Race number 1 and 4. Billy Easton. Billy Easton, you're on the horn in less than 5. Dustin, Jason Hall, Mark Van Neersen, and Kyle Paquette. And there we go, race 1 of 4. Remember, time to beat 22.5 flat. And it looks like Mark is out. And right now, it's Billy in the lead, 22.504. He's 4 seconds off his TQ pace from round 1. Jason Hall, 21.5 flat in the second. Dustin, 6 seconds off second, 21.506.
4 minutes left.
Kyle Paquette, 25.15. Billy Easton, 13.6 last lap. Jason Hall, 14.5. Dustin Spallone, 14.6. Kyle Paquette, 14.5. New fast lap for Billy Easton that time around, 13.5. Jason Hall, new fast lap that time around, 13.9. And Billy answers with a 13.6. 22.502 pace. He's 2 seconds off the TQ time. Jason Hall, 22.513. Dustin Spallone, 25.03. Billy, new fast lap, 13.4. And Kyle Paquette right now is 10 seconds off the 3 spot. Oh, and Dustin, new fast lap, 14.2 in that third. 25.01, Kyle, 25.13. And we got 2 down, less than 3 to go. Billy, 22.502 pace. Jason Hall, 21.507. Dustin, 25.06. Kyle Paquette, 4 seconds off third, 25.10. It looks like Kyle is out. So we are down to 3. Billy Easton, new fast lap, 13.4. Dustin Spallone, new fast lap, 14.1. Right now it's Billy 22.501, Jason 21.505, Dustin 25.08. Billy laying down back-to-back 13.6s that time. Dustin 14.9.
2 minutes left.
And Billy, new fast lap 13.3, Jason Hall 14.5, and Dustin 14.9. Less than 2 to go. 1:45 to be exact. Up next is Independent Buggy, Chuck, Brian Dean, Lee Kessler, James McDaniel. And that crash by Jason's going to hurt him a little bit this lap. Billy 13.3 again, new fast lap. Jason Hall 14.3, Dustin 14.3.
1 minute left.
And we got 1 to go. Yellow is on. .45 seconds to go. Billy 14.7, Jason Hall 14.4, Dustin 14.7. Billy Easton 22.502 pace. Dustin now up in the second, 25 flat. Jason Hall 25.03. Jason 30 seconds off the second spot. $15 seconds. Race is now over. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Billy's done. 13.2 last lap for Billy. New fast lap. Jason Hall, you're done. 13.8 your last lap. And Dustin Spallone, you're done. Billy Easton takes the win. 22.501. Dustin 21.513. And Jason 25.02. And Billy Easton set the TQ from round 1, 22.5 flat going into the mains. All right, I need a volunteer for
3 minutes
Jason
left.
Hall, guys. I need a volunteer for Jason Hall. Pair marshals are going to be Billy, Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mark Van Neersen, and a volunteer for Jason Hall,
2
guys.
minutes 30 seconds left. Two minutes left. $90 seconds left. 75 seconds left. One minute left.
All right, just waiting for Mark to come on out, and I need a volunteer for Jason Hall, guys. Need a volunteer for Jason.
45 seconds left.
Guys, bring him to the back. Shut it down. Bring it to the back.
30 seconds left.
All right. Guess we just got to run what we have. All right, here we go. 19509 is set by Chuck Limbach in round
10
number
seconds
1.
left.
That
Less
is
than
the
5
time to beat.
seconds.
Mark, I need you out here. And running order is Chuck, Brian, James McDaniel, and Lee. Here we go. Chuck Limbach, you are on the horn in less than 5. Brian Dean, James McDaniel, and Lee. And we're off. Race number 2 of 4, round number 1 of qualifying, or round number 2 of qualifying, sorry. Time to beat is 19509. As you guys put a couple laps down, I'll go in the order. And right now, with 1 down,
minutes
4 to
left.
go, it's Chuck Limbach, your leader, 18.502. Brian Dean, 18.514. Lee Kessler, 17.502. And James McDaniel, 11.521. Chuck, 16.2, new fast lap that time around. Lee now up into the second spot, 15.9. Brian Dean, 17.5. James McDaniel, 17.9. New fast lap for Chuck, 16.1. And right now he's on a 19.514 pace. 18.505 now for Chuck. Lee, 18.509, 4 seconds off the lead. Brian Dean, 18.517. James McDaniel, 16.512.
3 minutes left.
And right now we got 2 down, less than 3 to go. Chuck, 16.7 that time around. Brian Dean, new fast lap, 16.2. James in the 4, 22.6. And Lee Kessler, 21.1. He's now down in the 3. And Brian Dean now up into the second spot. And there's Brian Dean, 16.2 that time around. James McDaniel, 18.4. Lee, 15.8. Lee, 3 seconds off the second spot. Brian Dean is 8 seconds off the lead. Chuck, 18.503. Brian Dean, 18.509. Lee, 18.514. James McDaniel, 16.517. Ooh, and Chuck was riding on 2 wheels right there. And 2 to go, guys. 2 to go. Up next, Mod 2-Wheel Drive. Kyle Paquette, Juan Torres, Dustin Spallone, and Mason. And James McDaniel, new fast lap, 17.7 that time around. Chuck Limbach right now on an 18.503 pace. Brian Dean, 18.510. Lee, 2 seconds off second, 18.512. James McDaniel, 16.511. New fast lap for James, 17.1. And Lee now goes up into the 2 spot. Brian Dean with that 20.6 goes down into 3. 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. And Lee Kessler, now the leader, 18.507. Chuck now down into 2, 18.513. Brian Dean, 18.514. And James McDaniel, 16.514. 15 seconds to go. Remember, Mod 2-wheel drive, you're up next. And Chuck should be going up into the 1 spot. And he does with that new fast lap of a 16.1.
Race is over.
Race is over. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Look at all these new fast laps. Chuck 16.1, Brian Dean 15.9, James McDaniel 17 flat. And Chuck, new fast lap 15.8, you're done. Brian Dean, you're done. Everybody is done. Chuck Limbach takes the win, 18.509. Lee Kessler, 18.509 as well. Brian Dean, 18.511. Wow, look at those times. And James McDaniel, 16.511. Chuck is your TQ holder from round 1, 19.509 going into the mains. Good job, guys. All right, guys, I need a volunteer turn marshal, please. 1 volunteer.
3 minutes left. Two minutes 30 seconds left. Two minutes left. "90 seconds left.
All right, just waiting for Brian Dean to come out.
75 seconds left.
All right, guys, bring him to the back. Bring him to the
1
back.
minute left.
This blue bucket right here, Brian. All right, guys, here we go. Race number 3 of 4. Round 2 of qualifying. This is Mod 2-wheel drive.
45
Dustin
seconds
Spallone
left.
took the early TQ round 1 with time of 25:06. That is the time to beat. Running orders are going to be Dustin, Mason, Juan Torres, and Kyle Paquette. Guys, just be careful right here by the front driver's stand. I don't have a turn marshal there. Sorry, guys. All right, guys, here we go. Dustin Spallone, you're on the horn in less than 5. Mason, Juan, Kyle Paquette, and we're off. Race number 3 of 4. Round 2 of qualifying. Remember, your time to beat is 25:06, set by Dustin Spallone from round 1. And right now it's Kyle Paquette, your leader, 21:506. Dustin, 21:513. Dustin, 7 seconds off the lead. Both Kyle and Dustin are on TQ pace. Juan Torres in 3, 25:08. And Mason, 19:508. One
4
down,
minutes
4 to
left.
go. 14:09 for Kyle Paquette. Dustin Spallone, 14:9. Mason McCombs, 14:6. And Juan, 20.2. Juan Torres in 3, new fast lap, 14:7. And right now, Kyle Paquette, new fast lap, 14:4 is now your leader. Dustin Spallone was in the lead for a second, and right now he's only 2 seconds back off the lead behind Kyle Paquette. Dustin Spallone, new fast lap, 14:7. Juan Torres, new fast lap, 14:5. 3:15 to go. And Mason McCombs, new fast lap, 14:4 in that fourth spot.
Three minutes left.
And right now we got 2 down, less than 3 to go. And Kyle Paquette, 14:3, 21:507. Dustin Spallone, 5 seconds off the lead, 21:512. Juan Torres, 19:503. Mason, 19:505. Mason now in 3, Juan Torres in the 4. And Kyle Paquette, new fast lap, 14:1. Dustin, new fast lap, 14:4. And Mason, new fast lap, 14:1. And Mason, new fast lap, 13:9 that time around. Dustin Spallone, 5 seconds off the lead. Now make it 6 seconds because Kyle Paquette with a 14 flat. Mason, 14:7.
2 minutes
25:12 pace for him. Juan Torres, 14:8, 19:503 in the 4. Kyle Paquette, 14:2, 21:504 pace. Dustin Spallone, 14:6, 21:510. 1:45 to go. Up next is the last race of round 2. Stock 2-wheel drive. Kermit, Mark, Jim, Scott Quintel, Lewis, Rich, and Clarence.
One minute left.
One to go, guys. 1 to go. 45 seconds to be exact. Kyle Paquette, 21:504. Dustin Spallone, 5 seconds off the lead, 21:509. Mason, 25:05. Juan Torres, 19:504. Kyle Paquette, 17:7 last lap. Dustin, 14:8. Mason, 14:7. Juan Torres, 15 flat. And Dustin Spallone 1 second off the lead. Right now, Kyle, Dustin, and Mason are all on TQ pace with 25 seconds to go. And there's the leader right there, laying a 15:3 last lap. There's Juan, 15:4, 5 seconds.
The
Race is over. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Wow, 1 second separates this lead in the TQ. Juan, you're done. Dustin, Mason, you're done. And everybody is done. Wow, look at those times. Kyle Paquette takes the win, 21.508, setting a new TQ. Dustin Spallone was just 1 second off, 21.509. Mason, 25.08, and Juan Torres, 19.501. Nice race. Good race.
Three minutes left.
All right. Term marshals are Kyle Paquette, Juan Torres, Dustin Spallone, Mason McCombs. I need a volunteer, please. I need a volunteer.
Two minutes 30 seconds left. Two minutes left. Ninety seconds
All
left.
right, all my drivers are checked in. Am I going to get my volunteer term marshal?
75 seconds left.
All right, I guess we can only run with 4. All right, guys, let's grid them up to the back. Running order is going to be Mark Van Neersen, Scott Quintel, Jim Anderson, Rich, Kermit,
1 minute left.
Lewis, and Clarence. All right, guys, here we go. Race number 4, time to beat is 19.502, set by Mark Van Neersen from round 1. All right. Sorry, guys, we're a little short-handed on term marshals. Mark Van Neersen. Oh, we got somebody coming right now. All right, Mark Van Neersen, you are on the horn in less than 5. Scott Quintel, Jim Anderson, Rich Sedantes, Kermit, Lewis, and Clarence. And we are off. Race number 4 of 4, last race of round number 2. Time to beat 19.502, set by Mark Van Neersen from round 1. And right now, we're coming up to the 1 down, 4 to go.
4 minutes
There it
left.
is, 4 on the clock. Kermit, your leader, 21.514. Scott Quintel, 25.05 now into third. Mark Van Neersen in second, 25.04. Scott, 25.07 into 3 seconds off the second spot. Luis Ortiz in 3 now, 25.09. Rich in 4, 25.09. Kermit down into 5, 25.14. Right now, 5 drivers are on TQ pace. Mark, Scott Quintel, Lewis, Rich, Kermit. Clarence in the 6, new fast lap, 16.3, 19.511 pace. And Jim Anderson in the 7, 15.4, 18.501. 3:15 to go. Mark Van Eersen, 25:04. Scott, 5 seconds off the lead, 25:09. Lewis, 25:10, 1 second off second and 5 seconds off the lead. Kermit now moving up into the 3, 25:10. Lewis with that 19.7 puts him into 4, 19.508. Rich in the 5:29. Rich, new fast lap 15.3, 19.509. Jim Anderson, new fast lap 15 flat. And Rich now into 4. Jim Anderson in 5. Lewis down into 7. Clarence, new fast lap 15.7 into 6. I'm sorry, 15.9, not 7. 15.9. And right now, Kermit, your leader, 25.08. Scott Quintel, 25.08 as well. Kermit, new fast lap 14.7. Scott Quintel, 1 second off the lead. Mark Van Eersen, 19.502 in the 3. Last lap, 19 flat. Scott Quintel, new fast lap 14.9. And right now, he's 1 second off the lead still. Rich Sedantis, new fast lap 15 flat. And right now, he's in the 4th spot. And he's 3 seconds off 3rd. Kermit, new fast lap 14.7. Scott, 14.9 new fast lap. Mark Van Eersen, 14.9 new fast lap. Your top 3 drivers, Kermit, Scott Quintel, and Mark, are all on TQ pace. And right now, 1 second separates that lead. Kermit, 25.06. Now Scott Quintel, 25.06. 1/10 of a second off the lead for Scott Quintel. Rich Sudantis now in 3rd. Mark Van Eersen with that 18.8. He is now down into 4. He is 1 second off 3rd. Jim Anderson in 5. New fast lap 15 flat. Clarence in the 6th. Last lap around 16.2. Lewis 15.7 in the 7. Clarence, new fast lap 15.9. Scott Quintel just 1/10 of a second off the lead with 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. Kermit, Scott, Rich, and Mark Van Eersen. Right now, those 4 drivers are on TQ pace. Mark, 1 second off 3rd. Scott Quintel in 2nd, 1 second off the lead behind Kermit. Kermit holding his ground. He's holding that line. Kermit, 15.3. Scott Quintel, 15.6. Rich Sudantis in 3rd, 15.6. Mark, 15.8. Jim Anderson in 5, 15.2. Clarence, 20.3 in the 6. Lewis, 15.7 in the 7. 20 seconds to go. Scott Quintel, 2 seconds off the lead. 25.05 for Kermit and Scott Quintel, 25.07. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
The race is
Race
over.
is over. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Mark, you're done. Rich, you're done. Scott Quintel, you're done. Jim Anderson, you're done. Clarence, you're done. And everybody is done. On that last lap, Scott Quintel takes the win. 1 second over Kermit and sets the TQ with 25.07 going into mains. Kermit, 25.08. Rich in 3rd, 19.5 flat. Mark Van Eersen, 19.504. Jim Anderson, 19.506. Look at those times. Clarence, 18.5 flat. And Lewis, 18.504. Good job. Good race, guys. All right, guys, that is it for round number 2. At 2:10, guys, we'll go into mains. 2:10, 10 after 2. I'm going to set up the mains right now, and then I'll put the practice counter on. All right. Can someone come grab these papers, please? All right, guys, I got the results here and mains right here. If somebody wants to come grab them.
15.4,
10.5, 15.1,
18.2, 22.6, 16.6, 17.3, 17.3,
All right, guys, remember, I got the mains right here and the sheets from round 2, the results. So if somebody wants to put them up real quick.
$33.4, 46.1,
17.4, 18.8, 26.4, 21.2,
All right, guys, we're just going to go at 2:15 since we only got a couple races. So 2:15.
21.2,
Somebody said they just need that little extra time, so.
fif- 16.3, 8.8,
0.6,
16.9, 17.8, 15.7, sixteen, 18.3, 30.1,
14.2,
15.3, 15.4,
49.8,
17.8, 15.5, 16.1, 25.1, 15.3, 15.7,
15.0,
16.2, 15.2, 9 points,
11.6,
15.6, 15.2, 27.8, 15.8, 17.1, 15.4, 18.2,
14.6,
16.0, 15, 15.3,
14.8,
16.1,
15.1,
17.8, 16.1,
15,
15.6, 15.7, 15.9, 16.2, 16.4, 15.6,
31.3,
15.6,
14.9,
17.2, 15.8, 27.2,
14.8,
16.3, 15.8, 17.2,
15.1.
20,
33.2.
16.6,
14.3. 14.7. 14.7. 33.8. 15.
16.1, 16.0,
14.3. 59.1.
21.1, 15.3, 15, 30.0, 20.2,
14.2. 14.8. 14.4. 14.4.
15.3,
14.9.
Point 4.
14.6.
15.9,
14.4. 14.3. 14.5.
16.0, 17.2,
14.5. 14.6.
fifteen point six,
14.3.
15.4,
15.0. 15.0, 14.7,
0.8,
44.7,
0.3,
14.9,
8.8,
14.8,
15.6, 16.0,
0.1,
15.5,
53.0,
15.5,
14.8,
15.2,
14.8,
16.5,
15.1,
15.2,
15.0, 14.8, 14.9,
15.7, 15.8, 16.6, 17.1, 16.3, 16.5, 15.7, 16.7, $15.9, 15.9. Sixteen point zero. 16.2. 8.9. 23.4.
37.6.
22.7. 22.3. 16.2. 25.0. 16.7. 1924.2. 16.6.
38.0.
All right, guys, shut it down. Here we go. We're going in our mains right now. Race number 1 is going to be Mod 4-wheel drive. Billy Easton, Dustin, Jason Hall, Mark Van Neersen, and Kyle Paquette. Drivers from race number 4, Scott Quintel, Kermit, Rich, Jim Anderson, Clarence, and Lewis. You are my turn marshals. I'm hurting today. And that 3-minute
left.
clock is on.
Two minutes 30 seconds left. Two minutes left. Ninety seconds left. $75 seconds left. One minute left. $45 seconds left.
All right, looking for, let's see, my drivers are coming
30
out.
seconds left.
Looking for the rest of my turn marshals.
$15 seconds left. 10 seconds left.
All right.
Less than 5 seconds.
1 minute grace for Mark.
1 minute left.
You're out. All right, guys, he's out. So we're just going to get him gridded up. All right. Slow him down, guys. Slow him down.
45 seconds left.
All right, guys. In that very first spot. Taking the T.
30 seconds left.
Taking the TQ in round number 1 with a time of 22.5 flat. Billy Easton in that very first spot.
15
In the second
seconds
spot,
left.
it is Dustin Spallone.
10
In the third
seconds
spot,
left.
it is Jason Hall. And in
Less
that
than
final
5
spot,
seconds.
Kyle Paquette. All right, here we go. Drivers are ready. Turn marshals are ready. Let's see if Billy can take TQ and win. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Everyone on the horn, less than 5. And we're off in this 6-minute four-wheel drive, modified four-wheel drive race. And there they go, up through the sweeper down there, and over the line they go. There's Billy Easton right there in the lead. Dustin Spallone in second, Jason Hall third, and Kyle Paquette in 4. And there's your battle right there for the 2 spot as Billy is pulling away. And Jason right now half a second back off the 2nd spot. And Kyle Paquette 1 second off 3rd. There they go in the back stretch. And crossing the line. And then going over to tabletop there. We're getting closer to the 1 down, 5 to go. And there's your leader right there, way in front. There it is, 1 down,
left.
5 to go. Oh, and he looks like he's trying to make the pass, and he does. Jason Hall up into the 2 spot. Oh, and he crashes upside down. Now he's down in the 4. And Kyle Paquette in the 2, Dustin 3, and Jason Hall in the 4. And Jason Hall has to reel him back in. There's Kyle Paquette crossing the line. And there's Dustin. And right now, Jason Hall, 2.5 seconds back off a second. Or off a third, third. And Dustin Spallone right now 5 seconds back off the 2nd spot.
Four minutes left.
And right now, Kyle Paquette 11 seconds off the lead behind Billy. Dustin Spallone 12 seconds back off the lead, and he is 1 second off second. And there's Jason. Oh, no, that's Billy Easton right there. And there's Jason Hall. Jason Hall right now is 4 seconds back off a third. 3:15 to go. Still plenty of time. Oh, and Dustin was trying to make that pass there, but Kyle closes it. And there they go, right there over the double now, making their way over the roller. Now up the hill. And coming down the back straight. And they cross the line right there. And that's the leader right there, right behind them. .235 to go. And look at this. Dustin Spallone all over Kyle Paquette. There they go up the back and coming down the back straight. And there they go over the line. Oh, and they get a little bump there. Oh, and Dustin goes off the side, giving Kyle just a little bit of breathing room right there. And right now he's about 2 seconds up. Oh, and Dustin Spallone made the pass. And Kyle Paquette down in the 3. So it's Billy, Dustin, and Kyle. And right now, 1 second separates that 2nd spot. And Jason Hall now starting to reel him in. And there they come down the back straight. And right now, Jason Hall 6.5 seconds back off a third. He was almost 10 seconds, so he gained a little ground there. But time is running out. We got 1:15 to go. We got a driver upside down. And that was Kyle Paquette. And now Jason Hall is right there, right behind him. Oh, and he's upside down. One to go. So it's Billy, Dustin, Kyle Paquette, and Jason Hall. 45 seconds to go. And can he catch him back up? Let's see what happens. He is 5 seconds back. 25 seconds to go. He has 25. He's 5 seconds back off a third. 15 seconds. Ten seconds. And there goes Dustin across the line.
The race is over.
Race is over. Jason, you're done. And when you guys cross, the rest of you guys, when you cross, you're done. And there he is, taking second. Dustin Spallone. Kyle Paquette third. And there it is, taking the TQ and win. Billy Easton, 28 and 612. Dustin Spallone, 26-608. And Kyle Paquette, 26-612. And Jason in that fourth spot. Good run, guys. Good run. All right, that is it for race number one. We're going into race two, Indy Stock. Chuck Limbach, Lee Kessler, Brian Dean, and James McDaniel. Drivers from race one, you're my turn marshals. I need a volunteer for Jason Hall, guys.
Two minutes 30 seconds left.
My turn marshals are Billy, Dustin, Mark, and Kyle Paquette. And a volunteer for Jason Hall.
2 minutes left.
All right, my drivers are checked in.
Ninety seconds left. $75 seconds left.
All right, while we're waiting for our turn marshals and a volunteer turn marshal, let's get you guys gridded up. In that very first spot, taking the TQ in round number one with a time of 19.509, Chuck Limbach. In the second spot, Lee Kessler. In the third, Brian Dean. And in that final spot, James McDaniel.
45 seconds left.
All right, I need a volunteer turn marshal, guys, in the pits.
30 seconds left.
All right, no one's coming. We're just going to run four. All right. Dustin and
left.
Mark, your guys going to have to cover down there. All right, guys, here we go. Race 2 of 4. Let's see if Chuck Limbach can take the TQ and win. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Everyone on the horn in less than 5. And we're off. In this 5-minute independent buggy race. Remember, Chuck TQ'd in round one. He's looking for a win. And they get into a pileup right there, right over that roller. And let's see who's up in front. And that is Chuck Limbach right there with Brian Dean in the second, James McDaniel in third, Lee Kessler in 4. 30 seconds down, 4:30 to go. And then they come down the back straight now, and they cross the line right there. Brian Dean right now, 2 seconds back off of Chuck for the lead. And Lee right now is 2 seconds back off of third. Oh, and he's upside down. And Brian Dean still 2 seconds back off the lead.
4 minutes left.
And right now, Lee 5.5 seconds back off of third. We got one down, less than 4 to go. There's the leader right there, Chuck Limbach. He just crossed the line. Brian Dean right there just crossed the line. He's in second. There's James McDaniel right there. And looks like the black and yellow. I think that's black. Lee in the orange in 4. There's Chuck. And Brian Dean. 3:30 on the clock. So our battle right there is for the lead. Oh, and Brian Dean upside down. And James McDaniel up into the 2 spot. Lee in third. Brian Dean down in the 4. And we got 2 down and 2:45 to go. Lee now up into the 2 spot. James McDaniel in 3. And there's Brian Dean trying to catch back up. And there's Chuck right there, all by himself in that lead. And there's Lee just crossed the line. There comes James McDaniel. James right now 4 seconds back off a second.
Two minutes left.
And right now we got less than 2 to go. Less than 2 to go. And Lee just has now made a 6-second advantage over James McDaniel. Oh, and somebody's upside down. And I believe that was Brian. 1:30 on the clock. There's Chuck. He just crossed the line. Now he's over the tabletop. That's your leader now over the double. Oh, and Lee upside down. And that will catch up James McDaniel a little bit. He just gained 2 seconds off. Oh, and now James McDaniel in 2. And Lee Kessler down into 3.
1 minute left.
And we got 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. Up next is race number 3, Mod 2-wheel drive, Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mason McCombs, and Juan Torres. Right now, your leaders are in this race. It's Chuck Limbach in the lead, James McDaniel in 2, Lee Kessler in 3, and Brian Dean in 4. Brian now trying to make a move. He's only 3 seconds back off a third. Huh? And there comes Brian right now. He just gained ground. He is now right there, right behind Lee Kessler. And there they go over the double, making their way to the roller. And there they go up the hill. Oh, and Brian trying to make the move on the inside. 1 and race is over. Lee Kessler wraps up the 3 spot. Brian Dean, you're done in 4. And there they go. Down the back. And Chuck Limbaugh taking the TQ and win. Track is hot. And there he is taking second place. James McDaniel taking 2. And Lee Kessler taking 3. That's it, guys. That's it.
Three minutes left.
All right, mod two-wheel drive.
2 minutes 30 seconds left.
I'll need a volunteer term marshal
2
for this
minutes
race,
left.
guys. My term marshals are Chuck, Lee, Brian, and James McDaniel, and I need one volunteer, please.
$90 seconds left. $75 seconds left.
All right, waiting for Brian Dean to come out.
One minute left.
My drivers are checked in. All
45
right,
seconds
where's
left.
Brian Dean? Brian Dean, need you out here. And can I get a volunteer, please? All right. All right, let's get him gridded up, guys. We're only
30
running, I guess,
seconds
4
left.
term marshals. All right, that's fine. All right. Shut him down. In that very first spot, taking the TQ in round 2 with a time of 21.508, it is Kyle Paquette. In the second spot, it's going to be Dustin Spallone. In the third spot, Mason McCombs. In that final spot, it is Juan Torres. All right, here we go. Race 3 of 4. Let's see if Kyle Paquette can take TQ and win. Here we go. Everyone on the horn. Less than 5. And we're off. Race 3 of 4. So caution on that back hill and caution over here as we're short turn marshals. And that is Kyle Paquette right there in the front. Dustin Spallone in 2. Mason McCombs in 3. Juan Torres in 4. And there's the leaders right there across the line. Your leader right there is in the orange and white. Kyle Paquette. Dustin in the silver in 2. Mason in the red and white in 3. And Juan in that yellow in 4.
5 minutes left.
And we got 1 down, 5 to go. Look at them go right there over the tabletop, making their way to the double. And over that roller, going up through the back hill, coming down the back straightaway. And over the line they go. And they just crossed the line there, making their way over to the tabletop. Mason trying to take the inside over Dustin, but Dustin closed it. And there they go. Kyle Paquette now starting to pull away. And Dustin holding his line right there. Mason, though, right behind him.
4 minutes left.
2 down, 4 to go. And there they go over the tabletop, making their way to the double now. And there they go over the roller, going back on the back hill. And they just cross the line. There they go. 3:35 to go. Juan has to catch up. And the leader is right there, right behind Juan, and he gets by. Oh, and Juan right now down 1 lap off Dustin and Mason and Kyle. And there they go, right there, catching Kyle now. They reeled him back in. Dustin right now 3 seconds back. Oh, and one of them got caught, and that was Mason. And Kyle gets a little bit of advantage there. 5 seconds back for Dustin, blowing off the lead, and Mason 6 seconds back. 2:35 on the clock. And we have a race, guys. Right now we have a battle for 2. Mason trying to take that inside there. And Dustin closes it. Then they come down the back, cross the line. And now they're going over the tabletop. And over there off that double. And we're coming up to that 2-minute mark. There's your leader right now over the
2 minutes
tabletop.
left.
Less than 2 to go. Up next is the last race of Superstar Saturday's doubleheader for off-road. It is stock 2-wheel drive. Scott Quintel, Kermit, Rich, Mark Van Neersen, Jim Anderson, Clarence, and Lewis. You guys are up next. So Kyle Paquette, he is way up in front now. Dustin Spallone in 2. Mason McCombs in 3. Juan Torres in 4. And there's Mason. Right now, we do not have a battle. As right now, Kyle Paquette.
1 minute left.
With 1 to go, guys, 1 to go. Right now, Dustin Spallone is 8 seconds back off the lead behind Kyle Paquette. "30 seconds to go. And Mason right now 7 seconds back off of second. 20 seconds on the clock. Mason now 5 seconds back. And race is over, and Dustin Spallone taking the 2. Mason McCombs takes 3. And there comes your leader, your TQ from round 2, Kyle Paquette, taking the TQ and win. 26.608, Dustin Spallone 25.601, and Mason 25.604, and Juan 24.612. Good run. All right, that is it for race number 3. Right now we're going in race 4.
3 minutes left.
And after this race, guys, the track crew is going to change it over to oval, guys. Guys, I need a volunteers, turn marshals, guys, in this race. My turn marshals are Kyle Paquette, Dustin Spallone, Mason McCombs, Juan Torres, and I'd like to get 2 volunteers.
2 minutes 30 seconds left. Two minutes left.
All right, is there a turn marshal in the pits that can cover the
90
staging area?
seconds left.
All right, we got turn marshals. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, let's
75
grid them
seconds
up.
left.
In that very first spot, taking the TQ in round 2 by only 1 second, 20.507 Scott Quintel. In the second spot, it is Mr. Kermit Butts. In the third, Rich Sudantis. In the fourth, Mark Van Deersen. In the 5, Jim Anderson. In the 6, Clarence Dobson. And in the final spot, Luis Ortiz. All right. Is that everybody gridded up? Are we missing somebody over there? Is there a gap? Okay, that's where you guys want to start. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Race number 4, last race of off-road. Here we go. Let's see if Scott can take TQ and win today. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Turn marshals are ready. Drivers are ready. Everyone on the horn. Less than 5. And we're off in this featured event, stock 2-wheel drive. Oh, we got a pile up right there, and Scott Quintel still right there in the lead. Rich Sudantes right there in second now. Oh, and then crashing back there in the back. And Clarence right now, your leader. Oh, and he's got into a wreck, and right now he's down to the 3. And Scott Quintel, oh no, let's see what happens. We got one upside down there, and I think that was Lewis. I don't know, let's see what happens when they cross. And there's Jim Anderson right there in the lead with Scott Quintel in 2. And Rich down into 7 now. And then they come down the back straight. There's Jim, Scott, and Mark Van Deersen in the 3. Kermit in 4. Luis Ortiz in 5.
5 minutes left.
And Clarence in 6. Rich in the 7. And there's Jim and Scott right there in that 1 and 2 spot. There's Mark Van Deersen. Right now, Scott right now, 2.5 seconds back off the lead. And then they come down the back straight. And look at that. Mark right there, right behind Scott Quintel, 1.5 seconds back. Kermit right now, 1 second back off a third. We got one upside down. And that was Scott. So it's Jim Anderson, Mark Van Neersen, and Kermit right there in the 1, 2, and 3 spots. And in the 4, it's Scott Quintel, Luis Ortiz in 5, Clarence in the 6, Rich in the 7. And right now we're coming up to the 2 down, 4 to go. And right now, Mark right now 5 seconds back off the lead. Kermit right now is 2 seconds back off a third, or off a second, sorry. And Kermit 3 seconds back off a second, and Scott 3.5 seconds back off a third. And Mark Van Neersen, your leader. Jim Anderson down in the 2. Scott in 3. Kermit in 4. Clarence 5. Lewis 6. And Rich 7. 3:20 to go. There's the leader right there across the line. There's Jim Anderson in the 2 spot with Scott Quintel in 3. Kermit right now 2 seconds back off of third. And there they go. There's
left.
Mark, Jim, and Scott Quintel. Kermit. Clarence. And they all cross that line. And we have a race, guys, here. We got a race. There's the leader right there crossing the line. Jim Anderson in that orange and white in 2. Scott in the green and white in 3. Kermit in the green in 4. And in that blue, black, and gray is the leader with the black rims. That's Mark Van Neersen. 2:20 to go. And he just crossed the line. There goes Jim and Scott Quintel right there, right behind Jim. And Kermit now right behind Scott. And they go over the roller right there. Your 2, 3, and 4 drivers coming down the
2
back
minutes
straight
left.
with 2 to go. And they just crossed the line. And Mark Van Neersen starting to pull away all by himself as he just crossed the line. And there it goes, Jim Anderson. Oh, and Scott Quintel. Oh, and he got into a little wreck right there. He is down to 4. Kermit up into 3. 1:30 to go. And there goes Jim Anderson holding strong right now in that 2 spot. He's holding his line. Kermit right now running in 3 with Scott Quintel right there, right behind him. 1:15 to go. And right now we're at the 1 minute mark. 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. And Jim Anderson with that crash down into 4. Kermit now up into 2. Scott Quintel in 3. 45 seconds on the clock. $25 seconds to go. And Mark still leading this race. Oh, and Clarence looks like he is now out. And there's the leader right there, just crossed the line. There's Kermit now, just crossed the line in 2nd. Scott right there, just crossed the line in 3rd. Oh, and Clarence still in there.
The race is
Race
over.
is over. When you cross, you're done. And Mark Van Neersen taking the win. Kermit taking 2nd. Scott Quintel taking the TQ in 3rd. And Jim Anderson in the 4. Luis Ortiz in 5. And that is it. We got one more. And there it is. That's it. So it's Mark Van Neersen taking the win, Kermit taking 2, Scott Quintel, TQ in 3rd, Jim Anderson 4, Luis Ortiz 5, and Clarence in the 6th. All right, guys, that is it for our race, off-road racing today. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We're going to do the awards and take your pictures, and then we're going to send you on your way home. All right. Hey, Lewis, can you take the pictures for me, please? I need the top 3 in every class to come on out to the podium. Huh? We're low on 3rd place medals. Stop taking the white ones unless everybody can return them clean. And I might be out of TQs. Here. All right. Get my camera. Unless you want to just take it with your phone, send it to me. Here, just take it.
I'll move. What are you saying?
3, 4, 5, 6 again. Thank you. All right, guys, Lewis is coming out. So, 4-wheel drive buggy to the podium. Billy Easton, Dustin Spallone, and Kyle Paquette. Billy Easton with the TQ and win. Dustin Spallone 2nd and Kyle Paquette 3rd. All right, I need, guys, the sheets are right here on the ledges. Anybody wants to look at them? Race number 2, independent stock, Chuck Limbach, James McDaniel, and Lee Kessler. So Chuck Limbach with the TQ and win, James McDaniel 2, and Lee Kessler 3. So Kyle Paquette, TQ and win. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong race. Sorry. Chuck Limbach, TQ and win. James McDaniel 2nd, and Lee Kessler 3. All right, Mod two-wheel drive, race 3, Cal Paquette, Dustin Spallone, and Mason McCombs to the podium. All right, Cal Paquette with the TQ and win in Mod two-wheel drive. Dustin Spallone in the second spot. And Mason McCombs in 3. All right, stock two-wheel drive to the podium. Mark Van Neersen, Kermit, and Scott Quintel. Mark Van Neersen took the win. Kermit takes second. Scott Quintel, TQ in 3rd. All right, guys, that is it for today's off-road events. As soon as I get word the track's open for oval for practice, I'll let everybody know. It shouldn't be too long. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I hope you drive safe. Drive safe home. Guys, if you want to run tonight for Oval, race registration will start at 5. Racing will start at 6. Should be a good crowd tonight. All right, Lee is bringing the sheets out, except for drivers in race 4. I got the sheet here. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is great. Thank you so much, dude. All right. All right, we brought the sheets out for the mains, guys, and the Kermit has race 4, the stock buggy sheet. So if you guys want to look at everything, or you can go to rcscoringpro.com and look at everything. As soon as I get the thumbs up for practice for Oval, I'll give you guys a thumbs up. I'll give you guys the go ahead.